going to say good morning, but it's nearly afternoon, isn't it? Well, whatever the time of day it is, hi everybody, and it's lovely to see so many of you here. I hate microphones. My name's Jackie Darlington, and you know, I was listening to Katie speaking, and one of the dusters, she said, burnt out with matches on. And I believe that is how I've ended up having to use a wheelchair. I had a stroke 2 strokes last year, and it's not stopped me. He wants me to stop, but it's
Not stop, just slow down.
but it's not really stopped me. It has slowed me down, but you do get burnt out as a carer. It is really important that people acknowledge that we carers need to take time out, and we need a break. And just before I start, I'm going to quickly tell you about the incident yesterday. I can't actually, because it comes into, I'll tell you afterwards. It comes into the presentation and it'll be, and you'll know who I'm talking about afterwards. So I'm going to start with, I've got 2 boys. And the photos there are taken from their christening photos. And there's baby 1 and there's baby 2. I'm now going to show you a photo of the 2 boys grown up. There's Ashley and there's Joshua. Now those who know me, please do not give the answer away. But if you think baby 1 is Joshua, put your hand up. If you think baby 2 is Joshua, put your hand up. That's because you all know me, that's not fair. That is not fair. That is not fair. Yeah. Joshua is my youngest of my son. This is Ashley. Which is a giveaway really, wasn't it? I'm sorry, I couldn't find anybody else, but I had to bring him. Or rather, he had to bring me. But yeah, Joshua is the youngest of my 2 young men, who's just turned 34. He's got Down syndrome, autism, and practically no speech. We in the immediate family understand him. Anybody outside the family does not understand him. So we're going to talk about what it was like being a parent carer. And that is slightly different to how I feel now, because I've learned how to fight, Katie. I've learned how to manoeuvre and get through the system. But one of the things that we're going to be talking about is balancing care with family life. Parent carers often juggle their caring duties with everyday life and responsibilities. And one of the things I did was, I was very conscious that Ashley did not miss out because of Joshua. So I went over the top. Ashley was very athletic. He's not now, as you can see, but he... I didn't say that, did I? Say it out loud. But he was very athletic and he used to compete for
Alderman Whiten.
Alderman Royton Harriers. And I used to take him to these events. It wasn't easy. I had Joshua who we did not know he was autistic, I should say, until he was 21, but he was just awkward. That's all I could say. He was just stubborn. He wanted to do whatever he was. But Joshua was small, and you know, when children are small, you lift them up, don't you? And you carry them to wherever you want to go. And that's how we got on. Can't do that now. He's too old now, too big. But we also have to, as parent carers, we have to navigate the healthcare system. And the healthcare system is different for those that are adults to those that are children. When you've got children, you have, as a parent, you have every right to say, I would like this, I would like that, I don't want that, whatever. As adults, you don't have a voice unless the person you are caring for gives you that voice and for them. So there's a difference there straight away. And one of the other things is building emotional resilience. Lovely words these, aren't they? I don't know where I found them. But you become adaptable, you become strong, you sort of got this super strength. And you know what you want, and you find networks and to help parents and carers out to manage the challenges while making sure your own well-being is being looked after. But you can only do that for so long. And I did it for so long, and you know, after caring, because like most of us, I cared for my mum, although I didn't know I was a carer then. I was 15, I was caring for my mum. And then I cared for my boys and I became a sandwich carer. And I look back now and I just think, I can't even manage to get myself out of bed sometimes, you know, I'm that tired. But I was getting up at the crack of dawn. Well, I didn't have a choice actually. Joshua made sure I got out of bed at the crack of dawn, you know, he was waking me up at 4 o'clock and things like that. So that was really difficult. So as a parent carer, you've got to deal with the hours that your children do and keep. But not everything is rosy. And the video clip I'm about to show you may be distressing, but it's important for you to understand why. And I don't know where the video clip is. It is noisy, so please excuse this, but it's really, really important.
I used to think I was just tired, not having that kind of tired. It was a tired that would seep into your bones and stay. I would tell myself, work harder, just work harder, look deeper, just stay calm, because it will settle. They often say, oh, you're amazing, don't know how you do it. And I'll just smile, because what they expect. But the truth is, I've been angry. I didn't have to feel like this. Every single time I ask for help, I am made to quantify my child's struggle. Never do they think to ask me how funny or kind they are. They even forget my name. They forget my name and they'll remember my reference number. And yet, I feel ashamed. Ashamed for even having these feelings. It's like the only thing that I'm allowed to be is strong. She didn't ask for anything. Maybe it's my fault. So then,
I'm tired. So tired. I'm constantly arguing with life. If I'm calm, maybe today's meeting will go smoother. If I do everything perfectly, maybe next time I won't have to bed. Hi. You okay? No one sees at 3 a.m. panic, wondering what's happening to them when I'm not there. No one sees the dark waters that I'm treading in. But sometimes I sink quietly, disappearing. Anyone even notice? If I drown?
some nights, I thought about ending it. Figured out how. Wouldn't it be easier to just let go? Close my eyes and just fall into nothing? No. I can't go. Because I know you like no one else does. Because you need me. Because I promised. And that same love brings about the greatest fear. That I'll go first. If you all remember what soothes you, what overwhelms you, what makes you laugh, who will fight for you if I'm not around? So I plan. I leave notes that no one will ever ask for. Because loving you means preparing for a time I'll never see.
I already grieve, not for my child, but for the life that we might have had, for the me lost along the way. But even in my darkest moments, I come back to love. You are not the source of my pain. You are the reason I fight through dark waters to rise and to catch my breath. I'm not saying this for pity, praise. I don't want to be called strong. I just want the world to listen.
going to stop it there because this does go on. The link will be sent out to you, and it's a real powerful film, and it just shows some of the emotions that we as carers feel. I'm not saying we feel all of them. I'm not saying we feel those particular ones, but it's just some of the emotions that we feel. If you felt that really difficult, please look after your own mental health and your well-being. And remember, there's lifelines out there that you can talk to someone. And the one number I've not put on here, and I should, is Carers UK, and they're not going to be pleased with me. But you've got the Samaritans and all the others there, and Mobilise I should have put on as well, because I've worked with them. I'm thinking of all the people I've worked with in that's around the room. But speak to someone. Doesn't matter who you want to speak to, just speak to someone. Especially after watching this film, because it's going to bring up emotions that you probably have pigeonholed and locked away for quite some time. Now, a lot of times people ask us to take part in various things, and we sort of say, yeah, we'll do it, great. But is it tokenistic, or is it really co-production? I have been told on at least, well, I don't know how many occasions, I am glad you're here, Jackie. And I then question when they say that, and I say, why are you glad I'm here? And they says, oh, you know why? And I'm saying, no, I don't. They then say, I'm glad you're here because you tick that box. And I say, what box is that? And you know, the colour of your skin, you tick that box. And it is wrong to ask us to attend something just because we are the colour we are. If you're asking us to attend something because you want to address the fact that there is hardly anybody of the black majority turning up to things, then that's fine. But just don't have us there just to tick a box. We need true co-production. If you're going to ask carers to attend anything, make sure it is true co-production. Don't ask carers to turn up just because, oh, it's in the policy, I've got to do it. We want to help make the changes. You can't do things for us and make it real for us. We need to be part of that, to feel the effects of that. It's no good asking me, or it's no good cooking me a meal and then saying to me afterwards, did you enjoy it? Without knowing whether I'm a vegetarian or not. Not that I'm vegetarian, by the way. But, you know what I'm trying to say? You've got to make it so that it's true co-production. Whatever you're doing, it works. And it is the best you can get. And don't forget, we need pay. Because by the time we've given up our time to do the research, to do the background, and often pay for someone to have the person we are looking after. We need pay. Or in my case, which is where I was going with at the beginning, is Joshua's in respite. I was on a call yesterday, Carers UK call, and I had this young man ringing me Lord knows how many times, and I kept pressing in a meeting, and he didn't take a hint. But what he was trying to tell me was that transport hadn't turned up for Josh. Josh was stuck in Melton and he had to get to the other side of Leicester because transport hadn't turned up. We had to then drop what we're doing, change our plans, get my son, and we then got into Leicester. But my fear was, how distressing was that going to be for Josh? And lucky enough, it didn't bother him. But there are times it will bother him. So, co-production is important. You know, ask us if we want pay. Some of us don't want pay. Some of us don't want them. It's not the money, it's the fact that we are equals in the room. If you're being paid to be here, so should everybody else. And that is what's true co-production. And if you're wondering where I get my head from, that's another TLAB statement. Think local, act personal. Again, it's all about making sure people are paid for their time. So, what are some of the challenges with navigating health and social care and education systems? Can you tell me, please? Anybody? Shout it out, I don't care.
The complexity of it.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else?
Speaking to someone.
Sorry, I didn't catch it, Matt.
That they don't work together.
Brilliant. I heard
Speaking to someone.
speaking to someone. Anybody over here?
Being passed around.
You're trying to care already.
Being passed around, and I didn't hear the bit about being caring.
Time it takes when you're trying to be a carer, you haven't got the time, you know.
Yeah.
Prescriptions are not available and you end up having to go around looking for pharmacists to find them. You haven't got the time to do that.
All those things and more. But the main thing, I think, is they don't talk to each other. And they don't listen to us as carers. So, how can we overcome these? Any ideas?
Co-production.
Brilliant. Co-production. Anybody else?
Improved understanding.
Brilliant. I don't know if you all heard that, improved understanding. Multidisciplinary meetings, or was it MDT? I'm learning the terminology, guys, please notice. Yeah, it's just about... Sorry? Respite. All those things have come up in the conversation I've had prior in this session here, in one way or another. And that is how you can overcome some of the barriers that we're facing. Thank you for listening and participating. Have you got any questions for me? And don't make them hard.
Thank you for introducing your and a little bit of your personal side of the story. This is just curious. Where's Joshua now?
He's in respite at the moment.
Okay.
He went yesterday. We managed to get him there yesterday, and he's not coming back till tomorrow. So then, by the time I finish here, drive nearly 3 hours to get back, I can try and calm down, relax, and before he won't come home till tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock. So that's how I use my respite, and I use my respite the way it suits me. I use it sometimes to attend these sessions, but otherwise I use it and I tend to stay in bed and have the most gorgeous meals you can think, you know. Chinese ordered in specially, and you know, that sort of thing, and just treat me. But I try to juggle the work I do here with Joshua, with respite, and making sure I take time out for myself.
Jackie, hi. I've seen you talk a few times now at ADAS events, and obviously the work you're doing and Clinton's doing and Isaac's doing, there's a lot of people in this space curating the change. Are you noticing a difference? Are you noticing a change in kind of how professionals are working, or do you think there's still loads more work to do? Have you noticed any sort of incremental change through the work you've been doing?
I think the changes are there, but they're slowly, like a sloth, they're moving at their own pace, where we would like them to move straight away and then happen overnight. But yeah, the changes are there, but they're just really slow. And at times people just need reminding. You know, you're making decisions about our lives, about our family, about the person we're looking after, but you're not asking us. And that is where it falls down, because people like me, you don't want to get on my good bad side, do you, ladies and gentlemen? People like me will actually say, hold on a minute, what are you doing about this? I was on the phone yesterday, in between doing a Zoom call, taking myself off camera, on the phone, trying to sort out transport weren't ordered. They just didn't do it. So, and it's not as if they didn't have enough notice. They had 2 to 3 weeks notice to sort transport out. They didn't do it. So yeah, things slip. I'm the first one to say mistakes happen, or at whose expense? You know, if you're telling us you need so much notice or you need to do something, we try to give you as much notice as we can, and yet it doesn't work. So, you know, it's really important that the changes you are making happen quicker. And I know the thing about it as well, it's the amount of steps you've got to go up the ladder. Haven't you? You're here, wherever you are on the ladder, You've got to go up to the top, get it signed off the top, then you've got to get it come back down to then get it implemented. And that is the issue. Thank you.
Hi, yeah, thanks so much for sharing everything you shared with us today. And I look forward to watching the video with box of tissues next to me. I know the word is curious, but I'm just nosy. What I want to know about this handsome young man who's standing next to you. Provides, because we're talking about carers, and obviously I'm assuming that you're here today because you brought you and assisted you in certain ways as well. That's not too pertinent question.
Not for my part. I mean, this is my eldest son. And do you want to talk, Ashley?
This wasn't part of the plan. But no, I've been caring for Josh pretty much since he was born, so I was 2. The stories of me climbing into his cot at night whilst Mum was sleeping, she hadn't heard him cry, and I'd got a bottle out the fridge. I hadn't known to warm it up, so I'm trying to feed him a cold bottle. Obviously, he's kicking off and not having it. But yeah, no, and then as time progressed, Mum always made me feel special, so I wasn't missing out. I got the best spikes for my athletics every year. When the new seasons came out, I got the best starting blocks. So I got the things that I needed to make me feel whole and to have the best childhood, as well as Josh having everything. But now I'm older, I can see the difficulties in bringing up 2 very different young people and making sure they both have everything they needed to excel. But more recently, I'm a chef, and I changed my roles of, instead of managing kitchens and being that head chef, with the extra pressures that brings on with the 55, 60-hour minimum weeks, as well as still trying to care for my mum. I noticed when she fell ill last year that although I got through work, I was hitting breaking points because my 55, 60-hour weeks weren't stopping at work. It was the 3 nights or 3 days we spent in A&E trying to get the help we needed with less than an hour's sleep a night. But being fortunate enough to have an amazing fiance at home, that helped with Josh. So that was a weight off our minds. So then I got into a freelance chef role to enable me the freedom to pick and choose when I work. If something happens and I'm not needed at work, I haven't got the worry of how that kitchen's managing. I just pick up the phone and say I'm not coming today. I do have to worry about the lost income, but money can come. And so yesterday I dropped work mid-shift to then drive half an hour, 40 minutes to Mum's house to meet Josh, to then be able to take him to respite. So then it was the lost earnings from that, which we'll hopefully find a way around, but as it is, it's part of being a carer, isn't it? You pick up the shortfalls and the shortcomings from other areas and you just keep on going forward. You put on your big boy pants every morning, you get up and you keep moving, and that's all it ever will be, and that's all it ever will be for us as a family. I think we're fortunate enough that we've got a big enough family as well, so there's lots of people I can fall back on when I need that extra help, that extra support, that extra little bit of comfort. Just someone to sit down and have that quiet drink with no words, but yeah, I think we're fortunate, a lot more fortunate.
Big boy pants. I don't know where he thinks he's got these big boy pants.
Jackie, just before you go actually, one thing one thing we hear about a lot is around parental guilt. And I know you touched on that earlier. I just wanted to see, I guess, can you expand on how you felt with that in mind, that theme of not being able to do enough despite doing everything you could?
all the guilt, I can't explain the guilt you feel. The guilt of what's happened now more than anything else is Joshua has purpose-made shoes because he's got very flat feet. He's now ended up with plantar fasciitis for the last 4 months.
Yeah, it's been on and off for a couple of years, but it's been consistent.
Yeah, and I'm being told I need to go and buy a pair of shoes for them to put an insole in it. And I looked and I said, don't you think I would have bought the pair of shoes for you to put an insole in? His feet is as wide as they are long. You know, where am I going to get these shoes from? And this young man, a very young man, was naming these various places. And Ashley sat there. Ashley comes with me to a lot of the appointments, I must admit, because he's decided. I'm not convinced it's the right way yet, but he's decided anything happens to me, he's going to take over looking after Joshua. But Ashley was looking up these shoe shops. None of them stock his size. He's only of size 4. And his feet is, as like I say, as wide as they are long. So the guilt I'm feeling now about trying to find a pair of shoes, and the fact that he's going out in sandals, I mean, this is very trivial to some people, but it matters. He's wearing sandals in the rain. He's got wet feet constantly. And then you've got the other side of the guilt that you can't do what you're supposed to do for them. Speech and language is another area. I mean, with him not speaking, and you're like thinking, okay, I moved into a new area, didn't know any different. He was going off to spend time with a PA, and his PA said, where's his communication aid? And I'm looking at him going, what? And I should know better. I was a TA in a special needs school, and I didn't realise that Josh needed a communication aid. And I felt so bad. And trying to get him the communication aid was another nightmare, because Rutland, where I live is Rutland, the smallest county, in between Leicester and Peterborough, and Lincolnshire and Cambridge on the other side as well. So we've then got to rely on the other counties providing some of the things that we need. And he needed this communication aid, and it was a Dynavox in the end, and he threw it in the bin. Didn't want it. But it was, okay, how do I go about getting one of these? Nobody told me. And that is one thing as a carer, we do not know what we do not know. And we rely on other carers telling us, because nobody else is going to tell us. And if I did get it, and I got it in remarkably quick time, because they realised, because we moved from one county to another, he had fallen through the nets. And that, I think, is something else, I think, another subject, but it's something that you need to be aware of. People do fall through the nets because of the moving from one area to the other. And they're just moving, not for better, not for anything horribly, but just because I wanted to be closer to my family. I was a single parent bringing up 2 boys at teenager. And you know what teenagers can be like. Yeah, and I'm on my own. And Josh, who's got his own needs, and I just needed help. So I went towards him with a family, only to find out that he should have had his communication aid. He mastered it within a week, and then threw it in a bin. So we ended up having to get an iPad in the end, because that's what he wanted, something like everybody else. Joshua does not want to be different. He really wants to be like everybody else. I bought him an iPhone. No, it wasn't an iPhone. He was into Michael Jackson. So it was a little Michael Jackson phone, and I thought, he'll love it. And he did. And then he realised he didn't take pictures. So he told me he lost it. So I had to get I upgraded my phone and gave him my old one. And then within hours, this blue Michael Jackson phone appeared. Because I don't know where from. I've searched the house, but it appeared. And I've still got it today. I've still got it.
I think we're just at time, Jackie, sorry, but thank you so much for both of you sharing that experience. Thanks so much.